Welcome to our class number 4. Our topic will be the purpose of the dimensionals on Earth according to their abilities and frequencies. The Earth, being the school of emotions, can also become a transmutative base between the third and the fifth dimension, since the even dimensions are considered preparatory and the odd ones are those that work as a more stable base for the process of evolution. So one of the main purposes of the work of the dimensionals on Earth would be not only to rescue the other dimensionals who came here and forgot about their essence, but also to prepare the vibrational field of the Earth so that it works as a base that serves for the process of obtaining 100% intensity of emotions through the genetics of the Adamic race body and through the conversion of the physical energy of that physical body into light, performing a proper fusion with our light body. This will allow the electromagnetic field of the Earth to have a significant acceleration of that process for the next generations of dimensionals and for the next races that arise here as the 6th and the 7th races. So the dimensionals who were already aware of that process came knowing that they would experience those emotions with more intensity and that this would require a lot of effort of their part because they would have to experience the entire spectrum of emotions, that is, all the experiences that would provide not only positive emotions but also negative emotions, so that they could also learn to convert the negative into positive with regard to the emotional field. So they already knew that this would generate debts, that they would have to pay those debts, as they also already knew that they would lose most of their abilities and their cosmic memory. This happens because from 7 hours onwards that the dimensional beings begin to interact with the laws of the third dimension on Earth, they become more and more densified until they vibrate like humans and finally lose their ability to have immortal physical bodies, and so they start to die and enter in the incarnatory cycle that can last hundreds or even thousands of years until they go through all the necessary experiences to live all kinds of situations that give them all types of emotions and reach a point where they are prepared to understand again about their essence and their purpose to fulfill here. At that moment, they begin to question themselves and seek answers on more existential matters until their search becomes the top priority and is relentless. Many of those dimensionals were gods, divinities, demigods, angels, and even deities in the past, so their abilities are associated with this type of higher dimensional reality, as well as their way of thinking, acting, and trying to understand the world, the things, other people, history, about laws, rules, and the origin of everything. However, as they lived for a long time here on Earth and lost their conscience, these people begin to use their abilities in an erroneous way, generating the debts that I mentioned, and their minds were distorted. Some even worked for the occult government, and some that are still asleep work until today, consciously or not, and some even defend the rules imposed by the system without realizing that this generally disturbs the programming that they themselves have committed to accomplish. But many have already begun to awaken, to seek true knowledge and to act on behalf of humanity. This is a way to eliminate their debts, because in order to rescue our essence, we made an agreement to work towards the rescue process, which includes the liberation of the population from all types of imprisonment, such as mental, emotional, physical, or economical, as well as the implementation of a new society, a new economy, new technologies, new paradigms, and a new civilization. So, those people were programming their missions so that this whole process could take place in a way that they could participate in a more effective and dynamic way, taking on future tasks that had to do with their experiences and skills acquired throughout their cosmic journey. And they generated not only individual but also collective debts here that would later generate situations that would have to be converted into positive things. For example, if a person manipulated the population in a religious way, he or she will have to collaborate for many people to free themselves from this type of manipulation nowadays. And if, for example, a person manipulated the population like poisoning the food, he or she will have to contribute currently in a positive way to neutralize those deaths from the past. With the experiences in other worlds before arriving here, and also with the experiences here, the dimensionals have obtained certain abilities. Those abilities have become part of their personalities and also represent their frequencies, so to speak. We can have hundreds of abilities, but there are 7 main ones, and they are usually connected with our lifestyle or the way we see reality, with the type of reading, music, dance, culture, rationality, creativity, etc. that we are interested. And of course, we have also acquired those skills, especially at our point of origin. Some of those skills are manipulation of universal laws, alchemy, telepathy, telekinesis, clairaudience, clairvoyance, third vision, interaction with parallel realities, bilocation, astral travel, teleportation, transfiguration, walking on water, levitation, etc. And some of our frequencies are frequency of prophet, wizard, divinity, demigod, Amazon women, high priests, high priestesses, messenger of light, wise merchants, etc. There is a whole training to recover those skills and to also remember our programs, and this can be done in several places in the world where the energy is more conducive to that and where we can find people who already have a certain level of training and that can give us orientation on this type of development. Those places usually have a great concentration of energy, and the collective consciousness generated by the people who usually go to them already has a certain degree of mental openness and a predisposition for that form of practice. Now let's go for our exercise. We will learn how to remember our dreams by unlocking the meridians. In addition to our blood and fluid flow devices in our body, which are our veins and arteries, we also have energy flow channels called meridians, which are recognized by the ancient Chinese medicine, for example. These channels range from our feet, which is where we receive most of our energy, to our brain, which is the device where we work with our mind so that our cognitive activity occurs. With that, we can better process our mental activity and consequently the activity that is connected with the extra-physical and astral world. It is good that our meridians are unlocked for that energy to flow more dynamically. So we can do a very simple exercise to make that happen. We can take 2 tennis balls or even 2 lemons and massage the soles of our feet before going to bed. This will already make a big difference, and it would be good if we also wrote down our dreams when waking up to reflect on the symbolism that they can bring us. If dreams have very vibrant colors and generate more emotions, they may actually be connected with reality. That is, they may actually be happening on another plane. However, if they have the weakest colors and are even black and white and with almost imperceptible emotions, they may not have connection with reality but are connected more with our subconscious or even with the energy of the external environment or with the collective conscious. A curiosity is that if we dream of things that we don't want to happen, it would be good for us to tell that dream or that nightmare to someone, because the more we spread the energy of that reality, the possibility is that it dissipates. And the opposite is also valid. If we dream about something we really want to happen, it would be good to keep those dreams to ourselves or only tell people who have a more direct connection to the manifestation of our goals. This also applies to our plans. It is worth mentioning that if we use lemons, we must discard them after the exercise, as they will no longer be good for consumption due to the negative discharge that can happen with the massage. That's it for now, and I see you on our next class.